Yo, what up everybody? PD2 Season 2 starts March 12th, so I decided to showcase a guided playthrough of what I like to do on day 1 of a ladder reset. This video hopefully will help you get ahead of the majority of players. I suggest watching the whole video and taking a few notes on basic item progression. I will be starting as a Fire Sorc, which will branch off into a full Hydra Sorc. I really would appreciate if you guys would please like this video if you find any value at all. So sit back, relax, make yourself the nachos, and enjoy. When you find the Den of Evil, go ahead and drop that town portal right outside of it and continue to the Cold Plains. I would say a good level to be is level 2 before you get here. I'd pick up all the loot you can find and then go sell it and buy mana and stam pots. Because who wants to walk around on day 1 on ladder reset, right? It's time to start the Den of Evil. We need that +1 skills, super important early game, especially for fire. A good level to be before entering the Stony Field is level 4. Continue looking for the underground passage and kill all boss groups on the way. If you happen to come across a pair of javelins, it's not a bad idea to equip those and start throwing them at minions and monsters. It's a good alternative if you ever run out of mana. Throughout this normal playthrough, you're going to want to stop and kill every boss pack that you see. Super important, and this is where you're going to get most of your levels. When you finally find the underground passage, hopefully you're around level 5 to 5.5. The main goal in the underground passage is pretty much to get out of it as soon as possible. Some of the monster packs in here are pretty dang strong, so just kill what you can. Normally, the exit to the Dark Wood is far right, so just continue on your merry little way to the far right of the map. Once you finally enter the Dark Wood, I wouldn't worry about getting the scroll and saving Deckard Cain. If you are with a public party, it's probably a good idea to actually save Deckard Cain and start farming Tristram runs. It could be a good way to get early levels to boost up your damage while putting more points in the Firebolt. But if you are solo play, you want to be about level 6 before you start doing your Countess runs here. And right here, I just hit level 6. Now that you're in the Black Marsh, and hopefully you're level 6, you're looking for the Black Marsh waypoint. This is really important. You need this waypoint because it's time to farm Countess runs for level and runes. So get your little butt in the Forgotten Tower, silence your cell phones, close your blinds, lock your doors. It's time to forget about the world just for a little while. In between your Countess runs, you want to talk to Akara. You're looking for 2 open socket staffs and 10% faster cast rate wands. Also, Charcy, you're looking for 2 open socket helmets, 2 open socket armors, and 2 open socket shields. If you don't have a belt at this moment, go ahead and buy one as well. Later in the game, you're going to use this helmet to put 2 Rowls in to get fire resistance for Act 3 and Act 4. The armor is to make stealth, and the staff is to make leaf. The chip topaz here, I would continue to collect these. You're going to want to put those in a shield for lightning resistance for Act 2. The beetles are super strong. So welcome to your first grinding session. You're going to be doing these Countess runs until about level 13 to 14. On the way down, you're pretty much killing all boss groups. Pick up all the loot you can. You're going to sell it in between runs. Extra gold is super nice. But the main reason why you're down here is to farm runes. You, of course, want Tal-Leth to get your stealth. On PD2, it is nerfed, but it does give 10% faster hit recovery, 10% faster run walk, and 10% faster cast rate. If you are doing these Countess runs in a pre-made group of 8 people, it's now a good time to break up in 2s. It will be a lot easier as well instead of being solo, but then you don't get all the runes to yourself, unfortunately. I myself will most likely be doing these runs solo. I have responsibilities. I'm married, I have a wife, and I have kids, so I'll be AFK a lot most of the time, and I don't really want to put that burden on my party. I'm not looking for a handout and a carry out, and I don't want to hold anybody back, so it's probably best if I just do it solo. If you don't have any friends, I recommend borrowing somebody's. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, if you are doing the solo, it will get easier and easier as you progress in higher levels. You'll get more points in the Firebolt, and you'll be stronger. And of course, at level 12, you will have lesser Hydra. In between the game here, I did find my 10% faster cast rate wand from Akara. Remember, you're picking up all jewelry, all rings, all amulets, and you want the 10% faster cast rate rings Sometimes you might not be so lucky, like me, right here, I get it, but they will come. Just be patient and take your time. Once you get level 12, you unlock Lesser Hydra, and this is when your Fire Sorc really starts to shine. Lesser Hydra is super good early game, and that's what we're pretty much specking into throughout this whole playthrough. Pretty much for normal and Nightmare, I'm just specking straight into Hydra. I finally got my Taleth. It requires level 17, but that's the main reason why you do these runs, is for that 10% faster cast rate. If you did decide to take the path of farming Countess, hopefully you find more Ral runes than me. I finally found my first Ral, so I'm going to show you guys the staff I'm about to make. It's Tur Ral, which makes Leaf. On PD2, it rolls 1 to 2 fire skills. It's kind of a bummer. I only rolled a +1, but I'm still going to continue throughout the game. The staff is really going to do work for me since I am a Fire Sorc. These are the runes I accumulated over the Countess runs. I'm finally level 14, 25 strength, the rest in the Vite. I have 5 points in energy, and this is what my skill tree is. 1 in telekinesis, 9 in firebolt, 1 into warmth, and 2 into lesser hydra. It's good. Lesser Hydra synergizes with Firebolt, so just continue pumping those points into Lesser Hydra at this point. Now that you're level 14 and you have the runes that you need, it's time to stock up on mana pots and stam pots. You can pre-pop some stam pots. They do stack. At this point, we're just trying to run all the way to Andariel. It is important to kill boss packs on the way. I ended up running into the Malice. It's a good idea to just grab it. I wouldn't go out of your way looking for it, though. It could come in handy later on when you need to imbue maybe a circlet. RNG is definitely in our favor. We find ourselves a 10% faster cast rate with some mana amulet. We did it. We found Andariel. Let your Lesser Hydra do the work. Hopefully, when you kill Andariel, she drops you a Topaz. It will definitely help for lightning resistance for Act 2 beetles. We ended up getting a mercenary weapon. Hang on to that. Put in your stash. You will need it. When you get into Act 2, you want to talk to Farah. You're looking for 3 open socket large shields to make Ancient Pledge later. If you don't have a belt, get yourself a belt. Also, you want to look for faster run walk boots. Those fire boots were actually really good. The fire res boots, I did not buy them. If Andariel dropped you a Topaz, well, lucky you. I only have chip Topaz, but this will do. Time for a quick gear overview. This is pretty much what you want. 10% faster cast rate wand, 10 on the amulet, and 10 on both rings, and of course your stealth at level 17. And don't forget about the shield. If you decide to do sewers here, you can. I like to skip it. You could also look for a public game going. Maybe you could like get in real quick and grab the book. That'd be pretty badass. If you're starting to get discouraged and you feel like you really just can't kill anything, it's not a bad idea to maybe find a public game. You can check Discord. Maybe you can find another player that's having the same issues as you and you guys can group up and do it together. It wouldn't be a bad idea. We did it. We're finally level 18. It's time to just zoom through the game with teleport. This is why you should always start as a sorceress. Super crazy. You're going to have mana issues, but as long as you have a good gold stack and you just keep going to town and stacking up mana, you're totally fine. There's no specific order you have to get the pieces for the staff. I was lucky enough I found the Far Oasis waypoint, so I just continued. I found the Lost City waypoint, so I think I did end up getting the amulet first in this playthrough. Look how easy it is to be a sorceress in this game, especially on the ladder reset. Get your Lesser Hydras out, teleport on the rock, get the amulet, kill all the boss packs, and just chillax. It's time to get your little butt to the maggot lair. Just teleport through this horrible place. Kill boss packs if you're able to. Get the Staff of the Kings and make that staff. I just hit level 19 here. It's time to use the Leaf Staff on my Switch. It's definitely going to help me. I don't teleport with it around unless it doesn't affect my breakpoint, but the damage is definitely going to help. Now it's time to find the cube. We're looking for the Halls of the Dead. Here it is. Now that we got the cube, it's time to put the Staff of the Kings and the amulet together and make that staff so we can continue to get through Act 2. Look at my Lesser Hydras doing work here, clearing the whole room. I really don't even have to try. This is solo player, but I do have it set to players 5, by the way. I get pretty lucky here in the Arcane Sanctuary. I find myself a 3 open socket large shield for my Ancient's Pledge. Definitely need this shield for Nightmare. Found the Summoner, kill him. You don't have to kill him, you could just open the book and run through the town portal, or the portal, the red portal, the cow portal, whatever portal you want to call it. We're almost done with Act 2. All we need to do is fight Andariel. It's really not a bad idea to go to town, get yourself some thawing potions. It's going to help for some cold resistance while you fight Andariel. Just put up your Lesser Hydras, run around in circles until he falls over, and that's the fight. Now that it's time for Act 3, I decide to make some Rao runes. 3 tiles make 1 Rao. I need 2 Raos for a 2 open socket helmet to give me 30 fire res. Definitely good for Act 4 and Act 3. The shamans blow that fire, and I promise you, you are going to melt without this fire resistance. I promise you, you will melt. Like Frosty the Snowman. So now we're in Act 3, the act that everybody hates in the ladder reset. You're looking for the spider cavern. Don't be discouraged, it's really not that hard, especially if you are a sorceress. You find the eye in the bottom of the spider cavern. The next piece you're going to find is in the flare jungle, in the flare dungeon. Just get through the dungeon. There is a fire immune boss at the end of this dungeon. Just skip it, grab the chest, and you're all good. Just remember, guys, on day 1 of a ladder reset, everybody is going to be going super hard, and it will be very hard to fight anybody that will give you Trav plus Durance Waypoint level 2. Now that we have the brain and the eye, all we need is the heart. It's in the Cursed Bazaar, in the sewers level 1. If you guys are getting any value in this content, I really would appreciate a sub. We're getting really close to 1,000, so I could finally get monetized. It would be pretty awesome, and it definitely is a goal of mine. As you continue through the sewers, you're looking for the chest with the heart. Here it is. Now we have the heart, the brain, and the eye. Alright guys, Act 3, the hardest part's done. All we need to do now is get to the Trav, get the flail, and morph all the organs together. If you're struggling at this point, maybe go back to Act 2, get yourself a Thorns Mercenary, equip them with some GG gears, or, you know, whatever you can find, and maybe just kill 1 at a time. After you clean everything up, equip the flail and hit the orb, or you could just telekinesis it if you want to. In Project Diablo 2, Mephisto is on a damn hoverboard, so you can't really glitch him or anything. He's gonna just fly all over the damn map, so be careful about that. When you get into Act 4, it is a good idea to do your forge. Hopefully you get a rune and a perfect gem that you need for crafting. In PD2, Season 2, things are changing. Crafting's getting a huge buff. Early and mid-game, super viable. I would test your luck. For Season 2, they made it so flawless gems will start dropping in Act 4. This recipe right here with the magic orb, a tur rune, a perfect amethyst, and a jewel is an alternative to Spirit Sword. This recipe will grant +1 to all skills and 10 to 20% faster cast rate. You can also get plus additional skills if you're super lucky. I highly recommend also crafting this caster helmet. It will grant 20% faster cast rate. All you need is a Neph rune, a perfect amethyst, and a jewel. Remember, if all you can find is a few flawless amethysts, you could always go back to Act 1 and look for perfect gem shrines. Continue flying through Act 4 until you come across Izzy. The +2 skills is super strong early game. In the Chaos Sanctuary, you're going to come across your first Fire Immune. This is where I go back to Act 2, get a Thorns Mercenary, equip him with some gear, and just sit back on my lawn chair and chill and sip my iced tea. For the Diablo fight, as long as you have that helmet with 2 Rao runes for the 60 fire res, you should be totally fine. Your Mercenary will probably die a few times. I think mine did, but I went to town and kept getting them. The fight takes a little long. He is pretty hard on players 5. But eventually, you will down him, and it's time for Act 5. I got pretty lucky here. I got back-to-back Sigons with the gloves. I'm going to put it on my mercenary. Check it out. 30% increase attack speed with 10% lifesteal per hit. This is definitely going to help me. When you get to Act 5, this is definitely a quest you want to do. You want to save all the soldiers and then talk to Qual Kek to get all the runes that you need for Ancient Pledge. You definitely will need these resistances, especially for your Nightmare playthrough. Ancient's Pledge is Ral Ort Tal, and it gives you a ton of resistances. The playthrough through Act 5 goes really quickly. As a sorceress, you just teleport through every single map. Of course, kill all boss packs on the way. As a Lesser Hydra Sorc, it is super easy to kill Ancients. Just put them all up and run away. When you finally get to the Throne of Destruction and you're on the last wave, this wave was a little hard for me to kill on players 5. I suggest just luring them out of the room and then just teleport past them. I wouldn't kill them. It is a lot of XP, but forget about them. We finally made it. We made it to Baal. Congratulations, we did it. We still have a long ways to go to get through Nightmare and Hell, but at least we have teleport now. After you kill Baal, you have a few options here. You could now open the secret cow level and start farming in there for your flawless gems to craft, or you could get your white crystal sword so you can socket in Act 5 for 4 open sockets and make your first spirit, which is Tal, Thul, or Am. Instead of farming normal cows, you could also look for public Baal games. There should be a few going by this time. You could do normal Baal runs until around level 45. Hopefully, if you're good at picking up loot, you could actually gear yourself in the process. If you want to transition straight into Nightmare, I would say a good level to be would be around level 33, 34. The route I'm most likely taking is doing normal cow runs, getting my flawless gems to craft, hopefully getting some upgrades on my gear, and then around level 33, 34, transition into Nightmare, and I'll be farming Countess all over again, just like in Act 1 normal. I'll probably be farming her until around level 40. I mean, I guess you could farm her until level 44 if you really wanted to. Pretty much just looking for runes so I can make my lore helm, which is Ort Soul, and maybe get some runes for Spirit if I didn't craft a decent one-handed orb. Once you feel like your gear progression is to your standards, it's now time to repeat the beginning of this video all over again. Get through Nightmare. It shouldn't be too hard. If you really want to, you can respec into Cold or stay Fire. I did hear that Frozen Orb in Season 2, they're reducing the cooldown, so there's no more cooldown, and Ice Orb is now on Lightning Frames cast rate. Also, if you want to take your time and farm Nightmare and Andariel, it's probably a pretty decent place to farm. If you're super lucky, maybe you'll get like an SOJ. I myself may be farming a little bit of Andariel, a little bit of Nightmare Mephisto before I finish Nightmare. I'm hoping by the time I get to Nightmare Baal that there's some public Nightmare Baal runs going. I'll probably stay there till around 70. When you decide to start Hell, of course, fire's no longer going to work. You can solo it with like a hybrid cold fire spec, but I recommend using, the forums, using the community, maybe find somebody that you could team up with to get through Hell if that's what you want to do. Around level 70, I personally will be transitioning to Hell by myself, getting to Act 2, and setting up a tent and farming the crap out of Stony Tomb runs. The Stony Tombs is now a level 85 zone, and there is no fire immunities, so I will be chilling there for the next few days, farming the crap out of that place for runes and GG items. And that's pretty much it, guys. I thought I'd share what I love to do every ladder reset. This, by all means, isn't the fastest way. I do not race to level 99. I just don't have enough time to do that. Not that I wouldn't want to do that. It would be really fun one day to do something like that. If I left out any tips or tricks that you know of, please comment below. Hopefully you've learned something from me. I really can't wait until March 12th when the PD2 Season 2 starts. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be so many people. I am transitioning into softcore this season. It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait. And remember, guys, the Diablo 2 community is stronger together. Until next time, guys, peace.